Hello again, Boomhauer144 here. Today I wanted to discuss Alliance Trial and 3 different strategies you can use in this. 2 of these will also work for special ops, but one of them will not, which we'll get into the reason why. So the first thing you notice here is we have a blue opponent, meaning that green is strong against the blue opponent. So we want to try to use our strongest green heroes. And also get in a few extra rounds of attacks using a couple of the strategies we're going to talk about here. The other thing about Alliance Trial is you're always facing a single opponent. Sometimes in special ops you can face like 3 or 5 opponents, which is why one of the things we're going to do here doesn't work. So the first strategy I'm actually going to use, well, let me show you. So this is the default lineup that I use in special ops when you're facing 5 opponents. And then I kind of adjust that depending on what we're facing. So here we have a blue opponent, meaning that green is strong and red is weak. So I want to load up on green if possible, and we do have a Myers that is replaceable, especially if you have some green heroes that you want to add, like Mars, that Myers can work poorly with. So this is the first lineup we're going to use, and it works in this because it has Zephyr in it, and Zephyr works even better with Fox for a reason you'll see in a few minutes. So one thing about Mars is he raises the attack of the 2 heroes next to him. So we're going to put Zephyr and Phoenix next to him so that he can raise their attack. The only other hero here whose order matters is Zephyr, because he gives counterattack to himself and the 2 next to him. So you do not want Zephyr on the edge here, because then he'd only give it to Fox and there's not a hero to his right to give it to. So you want to maximize the counterattack. So this lineup is the first one we're using because, again, we use a couple green heroes strong against blue, and it has Zephyr in it, which is the key to this first method here. Yeah, let's just work through this. Phoenix, you want to try to rage pretty early on because she has this blast effect that she applies, but it takes 5 rounds for it to happen. So you need her to rage and then it go at least 5 rounds beyond that for that blast to work. Okay, good. So we got a nice quick rage on Phoenix here. I think I might try to prioritize green next. Yeah. Okay, so Ulrich, you might say, well, Ulrich is a defensive hero. Yeah, but he also lowers defense by 44%, which is a similar effect to raising your attack. So if you use him right before Mars, you'll see Mars does quite a bit of damage. And Mars also just raised Phoenix's attack by 35% and Zephyr's by 35% as he did that. All right. So we need to get blue tiles to make sure Zephyr actually gets up to rage. Okay, that's helpful. So we're going to save Fox and Zephyr for our method we use here in a minute. Try to prioritize some green tiles because those are doing a lot of damage. Get the purple dynamite. All right, so this silence effect just wore off. It had gone on for 10 rounds, and the status bar just switched back to blue, so you can tell that it's off now. So we're going to use Fox, which raises our entire team's defense by 63%. Then we'll trigger the counterattack on Zephyr. We know that we're going to survive for a couple rounds here, so I'm going to get rid of these purple first, just so that blue dynamite does even more. Alright, so we got Phoenix going here. Now let's explode the blue tile. So you notice we already got 2 extra rounds of attacks on, because the first round, a couple of the heroes absorbed that attack. The second round, Zephyr absorbed it. We'll just use this again. Let's just get a bunch of tiles out of there. So Zephyr absorbs a third round of the rage, and so we've gotten 4 extra rounds of attacks in by having Zephyr in our lineup, and having Fox to raise his defense ensures that it goes 4 rounds rather than probably 3 if we hadn't done that. So for our final attack here, let's get in some green tiles because those do good damage. And we got lucky here with a Cascade, which is always nice. Yep. So we did 800,000 damage with that. So for the second method, the key hero is going to be Leah, who I happen to have at 310 right now because I'm working on Ultimate Challenge 230, which is a disaster. So Leah's the key hero. We want to put probably Ulrich next to Mars this time. Fox is not very good by herself, especially without Zephyr or Myers. So I think we're going to replace her with Obsidian so we can maximize our green heroes. Yeah, we do have only 2 colors of heroes here, but Leah is going to buy us 4 extra rounds at the end. So we have a lot of rounds that we're going to try to get green tiles here. One other thing I can mention here is that your weapons also apply. So I know that Leah does not have a very good weapon, so let's go ahead and unequip this radar from Atropos, which you can see raises attack, defense, and HP 300, 300, 600. And let's put that on Leah instead, which will give her better hero stats than the uncommon that she had on. And you should also use this weapon method in Arena on offense and defense. Also Ultimate Challenge and Campaign. Yeah, whenever you need your strongest attacks, try to put good weapons on the heroes. Alright, so it reset my lineup, which is not cool. But I remember how we did it, so let's do that. Alright, so the key hero here is Leah. She's going to buy you 4 extra rounds of attacks at the end, as you'll see. So these first 2 methods here I'm using, again, you can use these on Alliance Trial or Special Ops. It doesn't matter if it's only one opponent or multiple. The third approach that we're going to do, you're going to see it only works if you have one opponent. Okay, so Leah's raged, so we're going to wait to use that until the silence effect wears off on this opponent. Let's see if we can actually get some green tiles here. Not having a ton of good luck here. Alright, that's pretty sweet. So we got our 3 green heroes. First thing we're going to do is lower their defense. Then we can use Mars to raise attack of Phoenix and Ulrich. We'll use our Obsidian. And of course we want Leah to be taking 1 damage for the next 4 rounds, so we get our extra attacks in. Okay, got some more green tiles. Man, those are doing a lot of damage. Okay, so unfortunately we lost everybody except for Leah, but we still have a couple more attacks. Hopefully we'll get a couple cascades. She has this for 1 more round. I really would like to get some more green tiles. I think this is going to be a good match, actually. Yep. Okay. We can get some blue and red. We don't have a blue hero. Yeah, maybe let's just do this and hope for something. All right, got a little bit extra red there. All right, so also 900,000 type of damage, similar to the first approach. But we got 4 extra rounds of attacks, so it makes sense that it turned out similarly. Alright, so this next approach, first of all, let's get this weapon off of Leah. Put back her uncommon. And we're going to use Lady M for this one, so she has a rare radar on, so let's replace that with the epic. So for this third approach, the key heroes, the key hero, I should say, is Lady M, which mine is not very strong, but this will still work. So the idea here is you want to use Lady M with either Mars, Atropos, or Mantis. So Mars is the strongest one of those out of those three for me, so I prefer to use him. Also, again, this opponent is blue, so we want to use green heroes anyway. And then if you use Mantis, of course, that guarantees you have at least 2 yellow heroes, which you probably only want to do if the opponent is purple. Atropos I really like a lot, but yeah, you can see down here she's only 211 for me. So I think this is going to work out a little better here. So what we're going to do here is Lady M, you see that first skill there prevents them from gaining rage for 4 rounds. So right when that silence effect wears off, we can use Mars to reduce their rage by 25%, and then Lady M to ensure that they can't build it back up for the next 4 rounds. So just like with Zephyr and Leah, we're going to get 4 extra rounds of attacks this way. This, again, only works if you have a single opponent, though, because you can only pull this trick on one of the opponents. So if you're facing 5, like in Special Ops, this isn't going to work. The Zephyr and Leah approaches will still work, though. Alright, so we obviously need to get both Lady M and Mars raged within these 10 rounds for this to work. So Mars I'm not going to rage right now because I want to make sure that we have him at the end, and they've only got 4 rounds of silence left, and I don't see any green tiles here, so I'm not encouraged that we'll get his rage back up if we use it now. We can still lower defense though and then do some nice damage with Obsidian. It's not a great tile setup here, but we'll clear a few doing that. Okay, I need to get this Lady M rage filled quickly here. Okay. And then we'll get 1 extra round in here and get Phoenix to rage. So this is good. Alright, so you can see the silence just wore off. So we'll use Mars first. So Mars reduces the rage there and also raised Phoenix attack as he did that. Then we'll use Phoenix, and now we'll use Lady M to make sure they can't gain rage, and we'll get 4 extra rounds in this way. So we didn't even get a great tile setup, to be honest, in this round, but we're still getting something done because we get this 4 extra rounds here to attack. Man. Oh. Alright, I think, yeah, so he has 1 more where he can't gain rage. We're not close to raging any of our heroes, so I don't think there are any tiles we really need to look for. Maybe Phoenix, if we can get lucky with red. No. Alright. Alright, so not quite as much that time, but we had a pretty crappy tile setup, and, still made something out of it. It would have been a lot worse if we didn't have those 4 extra rounds. So that's what you want to do in Alliance Trial or Special Ops. Alliance Trial, you can use any of these 3 approaches. In Special Ops, you want to focus on the first 2, unless you just have 1 opponent. So hopefully that helps.